My name is Ethan, and today we are going to be reading The Gruffalo, The Gruffalo's Child, and The Snail and the Whale, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. The Gruffalo by Julia Donaldson. A mouse took a stroll through the deep dark wood. A fox saw the mouse, and the mouse looked good. Where are you going to, little brown mouse? Come and have lunch in my underground house. It's terribly kind of you, fox, but no, I'm going to have lunch with a Gruffalo. A Gruffalo? What's a Gruffalo? A Gruffalo? Why didn't you know? He has terrible tusks, and terrible claws, and terrible teeth in his terrible jaws. Where are you meeting him? Here by these rocks, and his favorite food is roasted fox. Roasted fox, I'm off, fox said. Goodbye, little mouse, and away he sped. Silly old fox, doesn't he know there's no such thing as a Gruffalo? On went the mouse through the deep dark wood. An owl saw the mouse, and the mouse looked good. Where are you going to, little brown mouse? Come and have tea in my treetop house. It's terribly kind of you, owl, but no, I'm going to have tea with a Gruffalo. A Gruffalo? What's a Gruffalo? A Gruffalo? Why didn't you know? He has knobbly knees and turned out toes, and a poisonous wart at the end of his nose. Where are you meeting him? Here by this stream, and his favorite food is owl ice cream. Owl ice cream, to-it, to-oo. Goodbye, little mouse, and away owl flew. Silly old owl, doesn't he know there's no such thing as a Gruffalo? On went the mouse through the deep dark wood. A snake saw the mouse, and the mouse looked good. Where are you going to, little brown mouse? Come for a feast in my log pile house. It's wonderfully good of you, snake, but no, I'm having a feast with a Gruffalo. A Gruffalo? What's a Gruffalo? A Gruffalo? Why didn't you know? His eyes are orange, his tongue is black, he has purple prickles all over his back. Where are you meeting him? Here by the lake, and his favorite food is scrambled snake. Scrambled snake, it's time I hid. Goodbye, little mouse, and away snake slid. Silly old snake, doesn't he know there's no such thing as a Gruffalo? Oh, but who is this creature with terrible claws and terrible teeth in his terrible jaws? He has knobbly knees and turned out toes, and a poisonous wart at the end of his nose. His eyes are orange, his tongue is black, he has purple prickles all over his back. Oh help, oh no, it's a Gruffalo. My favorite food, the Gruffalo said. You'll taste good on a slice of bread. Good, said the mouse, don't call me good. I'm the scariest creature in this wood. Just walk behind me, and soon you'll see everyone is afraid of me. All right, said the Gruffalo, bursting with laughter. You go ahead, and I'll follow after. They walked and walked till the Gruffalo said, I hear a hiss in the leaves ahead. It's a snake, said the mouse. Why, snake, hello. Snake took one look at the Gruffalo. Oh, crumbs, he said, goodbye, little mouse, and off he slid to his log pile house. You see, said the mouse, I told you so. Amazing, said the Gruffalo. They walked some more till the Gruffalo said, I hear a hoot in the trees ahead. It's owl, said the mouse. Why, owl, hello. Owl took one look at the Gruffalo. Oh dear, he said, goodbye, little mouse, and off he flew to his treetop house. You see, said the mouse, I told you so. Astounding, said the Gruffalo. They walked some more till the Gruffalo said, I can hear feet on the path ahead. It's Fox, said the mouse. Why, Fox, hello. Fox took one look at the Gruffalo. Oh, help, he said, goodbye, little mouse, and off he ran to his underground house. Well, Gruffalo, said the mouse, you see, everyone is afraid of me, but now my tummy's beginning to rumble. My favorite food is Gruffalo Grumble. Gruffalo Grumble, the Gruffalo said, and quick as the wind he turned and fled. All was quiet in the deep dark wood. The mouse found a nut, and the nut was good. The Gruffalo's Child by Julia Donaldson. The Gruffalo said that no Gruffalo should ever set foot in the deep dark wood. Why not? Why not? Because if you do, the big bad mouse will be after you. I met him once, said the Gruffalo. I met him a long, long time ago. What does he look like? Tell us, Dad. Is he terribly big and terribly bad? I can't quite remember, the Gruffalo said. Then he thought for a minute and scratched his head. The big bad mouse is terribly strong, and his scaly tail is terribly long. His eyes are like pools of terrible fire, and his terrible whiskers are tougher than wire. One snowy night, when the Gruffalo snored, the Gruffalo's child was feeling bored. The Gruffalo's child was feeling brave, so she tiptoed out of the Gruffalo cave. The snow fell fast, and the wind blew wild. Into the wood went the Gruffalo's child. Aha, oh ho, a trail in the snow. Whose is this trail, and where does it go? A tail poked out of the log pile house. Could this be the tail of the big bad mouse? Out slid the creature. His eyes were small, and he didn't have whiskers. No, none at all. You're not the mouse. Not I, said the snake. He's down by the lake, eating Gruffalo cake. The snow fell fast, and the wind blew wild. I'm not scared, said the Gruffalo's child. Aha, oh ho, marks in the snow. Whose are these claw marks? Where do they go? 2 eyes gleamed out of a treetop house. Could those be the eyes of the big bad mouse? Down flew the creature. His tail was short, and he didn't have whiskers of any sort. You're not the mouse. Too-hoo, not I, but he's somewhere nearby, eating Gruffalo pie. The snow fell fast, and the wind blew wild. I'm not scared, said the Gruffalo's child. Aha, oh ho, a track in the snow. Whose is this track, and where does it go? Whiskers at last, and an underground house. Could this be the home of the big bad mouse? Out slung the creature. His eyes weren't fiery, his tail wasn't scaly, his whiskers weren't wiry. You're not the mouse. Oh no, not me. He's under a tree, drinking Gruffalo tea. It's all a trick, said the Gruffalo's child, as she sat on a stump where the snow lay piled. I don't believe in the big bad mouse, but here comes a little one out of his house. Not big, not bad, but a mouse at least. You'll taste good as a midnight feast. Wait, said the mouse, before you eat. There's a friend of mine that you ought to meet. If you'll let me hop onto a hazel twig, I'll beckon my friend, so bad and big. The Gruffalo's child unclenched her fist. The big bad mouse, sweet does exist. The mouse hopped into the hazel tree. He beckoned, then said, just wait and see. Out came the moon. It was bright and round. A terrible shadow fell onto the ground. Who is this creature, so big, bad, and strong? His tail and his whiskers are terribly long. His ears are enormous, and over his shoulder he carries a nut as big as a boulder. The big bad mouse, yelled the Gruffalo's child. The mouse jumped down from the twig and smiled. Aha, oh ho, prints in the snow. Whose are these footprints? Where do they go? The footprints led to the Gruffalo cave, where the Gruffalo's child was a bit less brave. The Gruffalo's child was a bit less bored, and the Gruffalo snored and snored and snored. The Snail and the Whale by Julia Donaldson. This is a tale of a tiny snail and a great big grey blue humpback whale. This is a rock as black as soot, and this is a snail with an itchy foot. The sea snail slithered all over the rock and gazed at the sea and the ships in the dock, and as she gazed she sniffed and sighed. The sea is deep and the world is wide. How I long to sail, said the tiny snail. These are the other snails in the flock, who all stuck tight to the smooth black rock, and said to the snail with the itchy foot, be quiet, don't wiggle, sit still, stay put. But the tiny sea snail sighed and sniffed, then cried, I've got it, I'll hitch a lift. This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail that looped and curled and said, lift wanted around the world. This is the whale who came one night when the tide was high and the stars were bright, a humpback whale immensely long, who sang to the snail a wonderful song of shimmery ice and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves. And this is the tale of the humpback whale. He held it out of the starlit sea and said to the snail, come sail with me. This is the sea, so wild and free, that carried the whale and the snail on his tail to towering icebergs and far-off lands, with fiery mountains and golden sands. These are the waves that urged and crashed, that foamed and frolicked and sprayed and splashed the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. These are the caves beneath the waves, where stripy fish with feathery fins and sharks with hideous toothy grins swam around the whale and the snail on his tail. This is the sky so vast and high, sometimes sunny and blue and warm, sometimes filled with a thunderstorm, with zigzag lightning flashing and frightening the tiny snail on the tail of a whale. And she gazed at the sky sky. These are the speedboats running a race, zigging and zooming all over the place, upsetting the whale with their ear-splitting roar, making him swim too close to the shore. This is the tide slipping away, and this is the whale lying beached in a bay. Quick, off the sand, back to the sea, cried the snail. I can't move on land, I'm too big, moaned the whale. The snail felt helpless and terribly small. Then I've got it, she cried, and started to crawl. I must not fail, said the tiny snail. This is the bell on the school in the bay, ringing the children in from their play. This is the teacher holding her chalk, telling the class, sit straight, don't talk. This is the board as black as soot, and this is the snail with the itchy foot. A snail, the teacher turns pale. Look, say the children, it's leaving a trail. This is the trail of the tiny snail, a slivery trail saying save the whale. These are the children running from school, fetching the firemen, digging a pool, squirting and spraying to keep the whale cool. This is the tide coming into the bay, and these are the villagers shouting hooray, as the whale and the snail travel safely away, back to the dock and the flock on the rock, who said how time's flown, and haven't you grown? And the whale and the snail told their wonderful tale of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves, and of how the snail, so small and frail, with her looping, curling, silvery trail, saved the life of the humpback whale. Then the humpback whale held out his tail, and on crawled snail after snail after snail, and they sank to the sea as they all set sail on the